Authority recently announced an immediate ban on boat loading from all unauthorized jetties across Nigeria. The managing director of National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, Bolaji Oyebamji, who addressed a news conference in Abuja, said the measure is aimed at restoring order and saving lives. He stated that the move comes as part of renewed efforts to curb recurring boat tragedies and enforce stricter safety protocols on the nation's inland waterways. He said beyond NIWA, or beyond the ban rather, NIWA is stepping up enforcement by making life jackets mandatory, grounding unregistered boats and removing unlicensed operators from the waterways. Director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, Bola Oyebamji. Mr. Oyebamji, thank you for joining us on the news this hour. You recently addressed a press conference where you announced that the use of life jackets is now compulsory for water travelers. It sounds familiar because stakeholders we've spoken with say the problem is with enforcement. What practical measures are now in place to ensure compliance, including the ban on boat loading from unauthorized jetties across the country?
Thank you so much, Nifemi, and I appreciate you having me this evening. But it's important to note that whatever work or whatever we achieved in national inland waterways, the moment we have a mishap, it's rubbish all the gain. However, we have prepared ourselves and we are trying as much as possible to make sure that we reduce this to the barest minimum. The water, with the first thing at least that we did was to be sure that we have the transportation code, which of course have been outstanding for the past 6 months or 6 years. And immediately we have that, we achieved that to enhance our operational activities. And immediately we have that, the step we took again is to employ about 80 water marshals to man our waterways and to enforce this transportation code. You already know life jackets and traveling at night together again with overloading. These are the major things and these are that causes this mishap. So what we did was, apart from employing about 80 marshals, we increased that 80 marshals to about 350. But recently, what we have done in NIWA is to collaborate with the Nigerian police, especially the marine sector. That's what we have done so far, and we believe strongly that with this collaboration, we are going to achieve the best for the nation.
Well, I was just going to ask whether you can confirm that we have the requisite number required for enforcement, but we'll see how that plays out in the coming days. I'd like us to use a stone to kill two birds. Let's quickly touch on politics and your interest in the Osun State election. You served twice as commissioner in the state, but your critics say you haven't held any elective position. How confident are you ahead of this primary, considering about 12 of you are vying for APC's ticket?
Well, I'm happy, Nifemi, that you said that I served 2 governors as the Commissioner for Finance, and I have my experience apart from that. I spent almost 28 years in the banking industry, and I have worked as the MD, CEO of the investment arm of the government in Osun State before I became the Commissioner. And honestly, I have done very well, especially when I was in Osiko and the Commissioner for Finance. In Osiko, I was able to revive that company. When I came on board at that particular year, Osiko's shareholders fund was 300 negative. And before I left to become the Commissioner for Finance, I have increased that to about 6 billion naira. Together with achievement in oil and gas, I established a gas station for the company, which of course till today is the best in Osun. I again go into the property business. I established a lot of things. We have a property in a in Ikeja. We have almost 32 flats of 3-bedroom, which of course are initiated and delivered. Apart from that, I have another one in Oja Street in Abuja. I've done that. And at the same time, I delivered the headquarters of the Osun State Investment Company. I promoted the establishment of the mall, the only mall that we have in Osun State today. I seriously promoted it and I delivered it.
Mr. Oyebamiji, the way you are going, it looks like we won't have the time if you are going to reel out all your accomplishment. But, you know, there are claims that the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy has an anointed candidate for this election. In the event that you are not picked, will you support the party's candidate that emerges?
Thank you for that question. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy is a technical man. He's a very straightforward, cool and calm and collected, and he's a very good politician. He handles the party since 2022 when we left. Let me even say 2018 when he came in as the leader, and he did very well, excellently. So there is no way, at least the caliber of such man would pick or anoint a candidate. No, and if peradventure the leaders of the party pick any one of us who are going to, and I'm going to support the candidate or the aspirant strongly.
Indeed.
So there is nothing like the minister is having a candidate or is having a candidate.
I am told we have to go there, but I won't give you 1 minute. I want to give you 1 minute to, respond to critics who say your political ambition might be a distraction from your current assignment. How do you respond?
Not at all. Differently, what I've achieved in NIWA is quite overwhelming. And unfortunately, I don't have time. I would have rolled out a lot of things that we have done, at least in NIWA, and it's not affecting it at all. We're doing very well. And that's why I said initially that the only problem is the mishap. Whenever you have a lot of gain, at the moment you have that, what is rubbish. But however, we're going to reduce that drastically. We are working on it, and we are going to achieve it.
Mr. Bola Oyebamiji is MD NIWA. Thank you so much for talking to us on the news this hour.
I appreciate you.